I know that most times when we are designing, there are some things that we need to do to ease up our work. So over time, when I want to design, let's say I am designing for a nav bar. So what I'm going to do is at every point in every screen, I will now start designing the for which active state, inactive state. Let's say I copy a particular screen and I decide to use it over time. So when I get to where home is supposed to be active, what I'll do is I'll just start working on that particular screen again, which actually first it's going to take my time. But if you know how to use Variant, if you can use Variant very well, it's going to help you to first, it's not just going to help you do it at one click, it will hasten your process. So the time I take to actually try to look at this, to actually try to make sure that I'm trying to edit it and the rest of them. With one click, I'll do it. So what is variance? Simple, no need to carry plenty grammar. It's just how you need to group your components. So let's say sorry, let me share my screen. Okay, so let's say let me use something as an example. Yeah, I need to do this. Let's say this is a button 60. This is a button, let me call it a button, and I decide to, let's say, change the color to, no, why will I use red? So I decide to change the color of this button to let's say blue. This is too sharp. Okay, let's leave it like that. And my font, I want to say use 20. So let's say this is my button without auto layout. Let me just get to, okay, I'll just quickly add auto layout. So in case the button wants to change. So 30, 30. No, this should be 30. Actually, this should be 30. This should be 60. It's too much. Does it increase my voting? Mm, let me do half of it. Yeah, half of it. Okay. So let's say I've added it. Now, at every point in time, if I want to design for, let me duplicate this, Ctrl D, and let's say I want to design for is, I would have to click on the frame, and let's see which color am I using. Inactive is normally gray. Let's say I'm using this, yeah, this color, and I'm changing this to say black. Not really black. Let's see something like this, and then active, inactive, blah 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 blah. Let's say I'm getting to use it, and if I want to now put it in my frame, let me get an iPhone 11 X. Let's say let me get this, and I want to put it in my frame at every point. What I need to do is let me add layout grid so that I can just colon 6, 25 or 30. Let me use round figure 30. 30. So let's say I want to now use this button at every point. Oh, I did not make it a component. Okay. So let's say this is my button. Traditionally, what I'm going to do is I would have to drag this at every point. I did not set this. You see? Traditionally, this is what I would do. Now, if I want to design for inactive state, I'll still come to this place and I will remove this one. I'll bring this to this place. So you see why I'm having to do each of them one after the other. First, I did not make it a component. Secondly, I just did it anyhow. So imagine I have 300 screens. I've designed up to 300 screens here. Let's be realistic. I've designed up to 50 screens and I want this button. Remember, this is where I kept the button. Let's say I use Alt to drag them. This is where I kept the button. So if I need for inactive state, I'll start scrolling back down one after the other. That's how I'll be moving my screen till I get to this part and I'll copy, then go to the screen I want to do it, paste it. It's already taking my time first. It's already making me stressed out. But if you want to make this faster, what I'm going to do first is we all know how to use components. So first I'll make this a component. I'll make this a component. Command K. So this is a component. So if I go to my assets now, oh, I've deleted it, sorry. So this is it. This is a component. If I go to my assets now, local asset under design, I can see this as my button. So now the next thing I'll do is I'll want to make this an instance. So I'm just going to click on properties. Now before Figma, you will just get to see it right here without getting to click any of this one. Now they have new options. So I'm just going to say create a component. So a variance. So with this now, I have a variance already. So with this now, what I'll do is I can start adding more. So I'll just click on add variants button on all the variant I want to add. So I can come here, drag this down, and this is another one. So I have active state here. This is the default. So I can just start naming it. So this will be good. So I can decide to name it button slash active for the first one. Okay, so this I'll edit this from active to buttons. So this is button. So for this, you can see it. So instead of property, I'll name this as states equal to, I can just remove, since I've included state, I can just remove the button and make it active state. So this is active. Then if I come here, this is variant 2. So I'll make it state inactive. So for inactive, I'll change the property of everything there. Let's say I'll use, this is the first one we use.
Hey, Boma,
And for
your audio
the
is not audible.
this is what I used. So my voice is not audible. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Hello.
but it's breaking.
Oh, sorry about that. that. Okay, but you got to this point, right?
Not really. I think I missed out from where you
Okay,
duplicated.
so let me delete this. So what I'm going to do is, because I already created a variant for it, what I will do now is I will just get to Ctrl D and duplicate it. I'll duplicate it and I'll drag it to this point. Now, if you notice, this first one, I've edited it. I named it state active. So for this, I will name it state inactive, and I'll change the color to match my inactive state. So I'll have to duplicate again. So if I have different buttons I want to create all within this, so I can now decide to say this. Okay, let me rename this first. So I can decide to say state, instead of state 3, I can decide to say over. So this is my over state. So when I over on this, let me change the properties of it. So if I over, I want this to be this, but a darker version I want than this. Right. So I can still decide to create more states depending, and I'll call this state for click state. So you need to know all the buttons you will use. You will need. So when it's clicked, you change the color. If it's click, which color do you want? So let me just use this one for classic. So this is it. Now, if I want to use this button, let's say I want to use it, I can just decide to drag just this one and I place it here. This is the button I want to use. I have placed it. So do an onboarding screen so it will look very real. Right click plugins. Do I have plugins? Okay, let me quickly go to Google and look for. Is it still having the same issue?
Yes, yes. Your voice is still breaking. Like your audio is not clear.
Is it clear right now?
Yeah, it's just going off and on. Like it's breaking.
Oh, I think it's network. Don't worry, I'll fix that. So let's say I need illustration. I actually like going to Google for my illustration. Anything I want, I just go to Google. Oh, the mistake we made is I did not look for. So I'm just going to look for any neutral illustration that doesn't need to look at color or any of those things. So this is just for showing sake. I think I like this. So let me copy this and come to Figma and I paste this here. Face to replace. And then wait, this wasn't how it was looking. Okay. So I would have to drag it. Okay. So let's say we are using something like this, even if I don't know what it is. And why are you shouting? Why are you shouting? Make this bold 24. Text. So you see, you can create anything in if you are doing any interview and they tell you that you should create something in a few minutes, you can just decide to create fine onboarding screen for them. Auto generate. So this is not this is what we want, but we have to reduce it to regular 16. 16. Okay.
Okay, don't worry, Seth. Bring it. I'll go and buy it. Oh, don't worry.
Okay. So the this is in 24, so let's make it 26. Line height 26, make it center, and uh this is still big for me, so let me reduce this to 16. 16 is better. So let's say this is a button we want to create. And you notice that this is what I collected. So instead of, now if I look at it, if I want to, instead of going back, let's say I've gone further and I want to change this button. Okay, so I want to change this button and I want it to be inactive state. Can you see that I did not get to do any, I did not get to go here to start copying all the rest of them. So for this one, I can just decide to say, okay, it should be on our clicked state. It will just be changing. So for, even if I create thousands of these, I will just get to be changing the states as I want, over states, inactive states, without going to copy those buttons from all of these. So Variant will help you to actually create different states for your button. Now, there's another type of button that you can also create, which is one that I missed, Control D. So it should be outline. So I can just quickly change this outline. I'll add a stroke. I'll make this white. Yes. I'll make this color. Is this we're working with? So for my stroke that I added, I'll change. Oh, so I want to add stroke to the this thing instead of. I'll change the stroke to, let's say, this color, and I'll add the stroke to two of it or three, depending. So can you all notice that my voting is not actually fine? Okay, so this. So my voting is now. Okay, so can you notice that I did not get to add border? So it's, my voting is looking somehow to me. But because I made this a component, if I add a border, it would, oh, so I was supposed to change it from here, from the default setting. So let me add a border to 10 and see. So it did not change. It did not go. So what you're supposed to do is when you create a button, you look for the parent button. So let me go back to my layer, which is my parent button. So this is the parent button, right? On all of this. So it's supposed to add this to the parent button and it will do for all. But I don't know why it's not doing. But in case of next time, or is it that I'm not selecting my parent button? This is my parent button, and okay. So let's go back to local component, drag this out. This is 0. Let's make it 0. So let's say I alt. Let me be sure that it's variance. So this is it. And if I add 10, someone please from your end, if you're using your laptop, try to change a particular thing in your button that you created from your components, and let's see if it will reflect on all. I just want to be sure that it's the new Figma update. And so if you're doing it, let me know. Hello, any person with laptop right now, try to change your parent button. Try to change something from your parent button and see if it will reflect on the other buttons. So I'm waiting 5 minutes for us to do that. Someone should just do it quickly. Is anyone on it? Precious, Avayomi, Daniel, Dapilolo. Hello? Oh, okay, okay, okay. No, just one person should just do it and let me know. I want to be sure that it's new Figma. Because normally when you work with components, okay, or let me quickly create a new component. Let me just quickly create a component. Create component. So this is it. If I duplicate it, alt, and this is the parent component, and I add something to it. So I think this is the new Figma. No, it's working. This it is working. So if I change the color of this component, yeah, so it's working. So that means it's when you're using variance. So all right, therefore nobody should. I think I've gotten the answer. So it's with variance. So in case you're trying it, it's with variance. So continue. So with this now, I can decide to change it back to outline. So this is how it works when you want to create button. Now, another thing, you can also use it for your navbar. So let's say I want to create navbar for different states. I can just decide to start it. Okay. Uh, so let me quickly create a navbar. Let's say this is my navbar, and I just want to get this Okay, this will go. Let's say this is what I want to use to put alt. Okay, so let me get to Vanguard this. So this are my navbar. Let me Vanguard alt this and I'll change this to white. So this I want to add. Let me go to icons and see home, popular icon. Okay, so no need to do this. For home, I decide to use anyone this. So this is what I want to use as my home. Let me get to so I would have to duplicate this myself. Alt. So the spacings we kept in between them in that frame is 20. Okay. Alt again, and I'll make this 20 again. Okay, so I want to change all of this. So I can just decide to change it from here. So what I did is for my icons, I just quickly downloaded material design icon and I pasted it on my design screen. So this would ease you to search very well. So let's say the next one is this is home. The next one should be search. So I'll just swap it. So this should be settings. So I'll just go settings. So I've gotten all of this. Now this is how. So let me just quickly group it and I'll change the color to white. And I'll change all of this to the color, okay, to the color I want to do. So this is it. So I'll quickly just make it. So I'll quickly make it a component. Command K, or you use this. So I've made it a component. And let's say I bring it in. So this is a component now. Since it's a component, I can just add my variant. This is for one. So I'll add the next one. Okay, first of all, I'll make all of these to the color to be somehow faded. So I've done it. So add more. So for this first one, I'll just quickly rename it to Nava. For this, it's home active, home/active. So because you see, I did not save it, I'm having issues doing my color. So I'll still create another one. This is home active. This is Nava search active. Search active. And I'll add another one, and this should be setting active. So that's it. I've created my variant. Now the next thing is just for me to use it. So if I go to assets, I can design this and I'll place it here. So this, okay, this box was already, this is white. So I'll just quickly make this box white. Or what I can do is, if I don't want all of this, I can make this box. I can remove the field for this box. So I just added field because I wanted to know which, so I can remove the field for this and just make it transparent like that. That field. So let's say this is our navbar, and I am using it in several instances again. So for this, so normally, conventionally, what I will do if I duplicate it, that's when I will not start editing one after the other. But with this, I don't need to edit. I just need to swipe, swipe, and swipe, and that's for it. So any question on this so far? You see how easy and sweet it is using this to make designs. So any question before we move to the next of variants we'll have to do? Any question? Okay, are they doing? You can ask.
Okay. Good evening, Miss Boma. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Well, my own question, I know it sounds somehow, but I didn't join in at the beginning, so I don't know if you can recap like the variant for the buttons. I don't know if it's possible for it to help recap.
Okay, so I
That's my
said,
question. Okay,
all
so
right.
I said, all right.
Variance is just simply
Variant.
how you group your items. So instead of having to create different buttons, one, you just have to group it in one section. So if normally if you're designing and you're supposed to design inactive state, active state, and the rest of them. So also for there are other things you can add to this variant. You can add icons. So you can decide to use buttons with icon at some places and decide not to use it. So for you to, this is part of your design system that you create when designing. So I would have to create my button in different sections. So before, if I want to do that, I would create the button one after the other. I will just create one. Then when I want to use it as inactive state, that's when I will now start editing it. But with variants now, it's very easy. I don't need to edit with just one click. I would have to change it to any button I want. So I also give an instance that imagine designing for 100 screens and you get to the last screen and what you want to do use is a clicked button. And remember, when trying to do it, maybe you've done it here, you will now start coming back, like scrolling like this, just to get that button, which is not ideal, which is time wasting and the rest of them. But with variant, since you already have it, what you just need to do is to click on the button and change it to whatever one you want. So as how do you create a variant? You just go to, you first of all create your button or anything you want to create, then you make it a component. Once you make it a component, by the side of Figma, because Figma has changed, initially you can see it, you can just see the variant below, but now you just need to click on the property state, this plus icon on the property state. Once you click on it, you can start renaming your buttons. So your buttons should have names like active, inactive, and the rest of them. So once you have that, you can now start renaming it. So So anything you want to, something like searched, clicked, so it can have inactive and active states, like I said. So that's how you do them one after the other. Do you get now? Are they doing?
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Fine. You can start changing them by just clicking. So you don't need to drag and drop any of them. So you can also drag and drop for the first instance, like when you want to get the first one. So after dragging the first one, you can just be duplicating your screens and that's it. Okay. So no other question. Let's move over to the next one. Okay, so let's say for instance, I want to actually do I want to do a drop down. How do I do it, and how do I get to prototype it for it to work? So let's say I'm designing something, a form. Okay, let's use a form as an instance. Let me quickly create something. So this is a form, command D. So for form, let's say I need from here to here. Remember, it should be same. This is 54, so this should be 54 too. Like, I don't understand. I want you to be equal. I don't know what you're doing. Okay, so this is it. It's now equal. So quickly create a simple sign-in form. Okay, it's not signing, it's sign up. Simple sign up form. Command D, and this is it. So I want to make this, see, so this is white. Add a stroke, and I'll make the stroke, let's say gray. So this is what I want. A simple form. Full name. Okay, so one other thing. Alt, enter full name here. Placeholder. So this should be the same color with this here. Alignment, command G and command G. So this is my form, and I make it a component, command K. Oh, sorry. I'm not using Windows, so it's not command key. So this is my form now, and I decide to, or so let's move straight to where I have full name 6. The form is looking scanty, so let me reduce this. Okay, so let's even create an instance with this. So let's say this, it's already here. So I want to create an instance with it. So I add variance. So this I add plus to, let me increase this first. So there's something I want to do. I want to be able to change my form also. Oh, sorry about that. So let me quickly change it to, so this, I think Figma is still working on all of this because I've changed back to light and this is not changing to light.
Go to the start button.
To the what?
Start button.
Start button.
To start.
Oh, restart. Okay.
Okay, that's it there. No.
Oh,
No, as in that's it there. You see design where you have background. On your right hand
okay.
side. On your right hand side.
Right down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. White.
Yeah.
Where is that gray that they used to use? I think I prefer that gray. Okay. Thank you. So let me quickly bring this down here. So this is let me say state. Anything you can use to rename it that you will get it to. Let me name this to without icon. So for this, let me look for icon and so I want to look for back. Is it top or back? Arrow. So it's finger off. Arrow, yeah. So I'll just get to drag this and I'll drop it here. So so the fill color will be, is it this? Yep. So let's say this is something. Now before you start, you need to create all of this. You can just decide to create it on your style guide, create all of this and keep. So when you're designing, it doesn't get to interfere. So what I'll do quickly is I've not renamed this, so I'll make it with icon. So I go back to my asset and I decide to use this. So centralize, bring it down a bit. So I'll just duplicate. So this should be let's say email, depending on how you want to do it. I'll still duplicate Command D. And I'll quickly change this to with icon. So I can rename this to be sex. So that's it. So this would also help you if you want to design for password. Let's say you want to put password here. So this is, let's say, password. So instead of trying to edit again, same thing I will need to do. I'll come here and I'll change this to the password. There's no be, or what will I call it? Lock. Lock. So with this now, everything is easy for me. Change this to inactive. Normally, if I'm to do this now, what I would have done is, because I am here, I will now start editing this one after the other. But because I've created all of this, I will just change it to home. So I know that I'm still, even if I know that this is not supposed to be on login screen. So you can also decide to include, this will also help your prototyping. So I can have typed, not typed, and the rest of them in my form. Create all of that and leave it there. So let's go to this, what's it called? These states. Okay. So um, let me take this out. Let me alt and bring this on. I don't want this. I don't want this, so I take it out. Let me bring this. So let me detach it. So I'll bring this down here. Bring to front. Bring to front. So this I'll also bring it to front. So this I'll change the color to this, not black. So Command G, and I'll do this too. Okay, so this is for this. Command G. Components and variant property. So this, let me expand this to be, so what's this called? Drop down. Drop down. So this is going to be very wild. So I want to add a variant. So I'll quickly add it here. And so this would be, keyboard arrow, this here. So add alt, and I'll drag just this down. Okay, so for this, you can just decide to increase it more. First, I would make sure that they are together. So I would increase this. So let me get something first. So let me take this out first before I increase this. So for this, I have let me put this, and I'll make this without stroke. Oh, okay. Now let me copy this. So I don't want to start typing a text, so I'll just quickly copy this. Where's this? Okay, and this I'll just go Alt. I'll copy it quickly. Move to front. Okay, so it's now working well. So I'm removing the what's it called, the stroke on this. So here's the stroke. And I'm removing this. So I just want this. So this should be male comes first, male. So alt female, and this should be alt. So this can be prefer not to see. Okay, so I have all of these. I think I can reduce this. Oh, it's not even Command G. So let me quickly hold this. So this is it. Command G. So it's grouped now. So I need to group this. Go back to my layer and let's group all of these. Okay, so I think I missed something. So let me just use add variant instead. So I need to group this first. So let me group this. Okay, so we are going to create it outside the variant. So what I'm going to do is I'll just create this outside the variant before bringing it in. So outside this, so I'll increase, I'll bring out another one. Rectangle, create this outside the variant. So I'll just copy it inside. Or send to back. So this is new alt Command G alt female prefer not to see. G. So let me detach this. Command G. Let me add stroke to this. Stroke. So I need to add stroke to the rectangle, just the rectangle. Okay. Let's see this color. This color is this command C. Oh, stroke. Stroke. Stroke two. Okay, so let's say this is it, and I decide to add a variant. So I'll just copy the variant down to this place, and I'll copy this. Mm, Command C and paste it.
Okay, sorry, I think her network chased her out. Maybe she's having a bad network. Okay, so if you have any question, please you can drop it on the chat box so that when she's back, you can just draw her attention for where you are lacking behind. And also try as much as possible as she's designing to also follow along. Yeah. Do you have any question? You can mute yourself and ask the question. Hello. Okay, I think she's back now.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so we can start working on each of them. So for this, I'll rename it to drop down. What is my? This is okay. So I did not rename this. Drop down open. No, this is closed. Sorry, closed. So this is drop down open slash none, because none is selected. So that's how you rename one after the other. This is drop down open, but open slash instead of none, I can just decide to say mail is selected. So for mail, I'll make it have a feel like it's selected. So I can add this. Should we use this color? Should we not use this color? Should we use this color or should we not use this color? Okay, so let's say this. No, this color is too So don't mind me. I'm not actually good at selecting colors. So that's why I get to do anything color from the onset before I start any design project. So I don't get to. So someone should suggest a color, preferably color code. Okay. Let me just go with this. We are in class, so this is male. I'll have to add more. So I'll have to drag it from here. So for this will change back to white. And this will go to that color. Which color did I use? C. Okay. So for this, it will go back to white. And this will go back to. So I'll name this open female. Then I would still get to duplicate Command D. So the color is not looking very fine, but let's just continue. This will go back to white. And this will go back to okay. So I think there's something I really need to do here. All this true coffee thing should go away. Stroke. Okay, we've gotten our drop down. So let's say what did I name it as? Drop down close. So just swap it to drop down. So you saw what I did, right? Even if it's not the same. So let me just make it the same type of stuff so that on group. We set all changes. The touch instant. So I just want this. I don't want this. Go away. So this is what I want. Because I already changed the pattern, I wanted it to. Sorry, this is it. Odd. So let's say I want to now prototype this. So this is the interesting part of it. So how do I prototype this now for it to show all these drop down I've used? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a frame, or create a frame, a very small frame. In the frame, I'll bring this in Alt and I'll bring this in. So that means my frame needs to be bigger to accommodate. So this is my frame. I want my frame to be like this. So I can now change the instance. Oh, so you notice something? Okay, yeah, so I can now change the instance to open. So this is it. So I would have to duplicate my frame, Command D. So I'll change this to male, Command D. I'll change this to female. I did not rename the last one. So this prefer not to say. So let me change it to prefer. So I'll Ctrl D this and I'll change this to prefer. So this is enclosed, yeah. So if I want to make this interactive, what I'll do is I'll just quickly go to my prototype and I'll click on this to this, and I'll quickly I'll click on click issued, open and overlay. So I'll check this, close when clicking outside. So this is, so I'll just rename this to open to bear the name of everything I want to do so that I won't get confused. Open male, female, prefer. So I'm going to click on this first one, which is male, and I'll drag this to this. So now I'm going to change that to from, I'll change this from on click to while hovering, you should navigate to male instance. So I'll still do this for the next one. While hovering, you should navigate to female. I'll change this to while hovering, you should navigate to prefer. So I'll still come back here and add an interaction. So it will be on click, you should close overlay. Okay, so let's see how this works. On click, you should navigate to this first. So let's see if it's going to. I think I missed one interaction. One thing, that's why that overlay is just opening. So this is so this is the start of it. I mixed something up, so let me quickly fix that. Yeah, I missed an interaction, so let me quickly fix that. So let me. Can you hear me? My Figma has
Yes,
frozen.
yes, we can.
Yeah, my Figma has frozen. Let me restart. So can you see what is on my screen? My page is not responsive. Right? Now I'm trying to restart. Yeah, pray it works now. So is another person's screen acting like this? So we need to add what's it called? A stroke. Because this is looking too plain. It's not looking like a drop down menu. You're using Figma right now, you're facing the same. Is who is using Figma and is facing this same issue. My screen is unresponsive.
I'm using Figma. My screen is responsive.
Okay, so you know what? Quickly share your screen for us. So let me. Did you get to this point?
No, I haven't gotten there.
So who has gotten to that point? So if you've gotten to that point, let me see. And is it that nobody was following?
Miss Boma, I suggest that you restart the Figma on your browser.
Okay, let me try opening it again. And so figma.com. Oh, I've got to open the wrong file. Guys, I can't see it. Like I can't see the screen. Which of my accounts did I use? Okay, let me try to sort out the account I used. I don't know which other account I used. Whoa. Okay. So go to prototype. Let me get to remove all of this first. So let me cancel this. Close interaction. So I've deleted all, but I can still see it. Okay. So these are starting points. So I'll get to start from here to here. So the first interaction I'm going to add is on click, it should open overlay to drop down open instant. So that's that. So this is the first one. Then I think this is the next one. If I click on this, it should while hovering. Oh, so I was supposed to use swap overlay. So that's the same thing I'll do for all of this. While hovering, swap overlay. So the same thing, while hovering, swap overlay. So let's see this now. So once I click on this, so I did not return it. while over here, swap. Mm, okay, so let me use navigate instead. While over in navigate to mail, and let's see. Is it at every point that my Figma will freeze? Oh, not again. Oh, let me stop sharing. Hello everyone. So let me get back to sharing my screen. So I really don't know why Figma is acting like this, but I think it's because of the new feature they added. So because of the new feature they added, I think they're still having bugs. Let me open this again. So design. Let's go back to this. Prototype. I need to remove all interactions. So yours is working. Your one will soon stop the work. Oh. Don't be happy. Oh. This is Figma we are talking about. Anyways, that's not a prayer, Sha. Flow one. Please, how do you delete something immediately? Wow. Yes, yes, yes. I am just seeing this. That's frozen again. Please, if your own is working, I can just share this slide this for you so that you help us. Because if they want to give us what's it called, new feature, and our Figma will be misbehaving, they should kuku not give us. So they should remove it. Because I don't want again. Okay. So back to this. Open. This to this. On click. Open an overlay. To this, yes. So, oh, and you people did not tell me. Ah, these students. So this is what I have been doing. I have been linking this to, I've been linking different screens instead of just linking this particular screen. So for mail now, I'll just link this to be while hovering, it should swap overlay to male. Then for female, I'll link it to female and do the same thing. Then for prefer not to say, I'll link it to this and do the same thing. This is what I would have done since, and I've been doing the other way around. Exactly. Exactly. You design. Ah, you would have just unmuted your mic to tell me. Do you know that on my mind, that is what I am doing, not knowing that I've been linking different screens to. Okay, so I can decide to now go back to this screen. I can decide to go back to this screen and add an interaction, and it should be on click close overlay. So you can also use, so this is it. So once I click, I've closed it. So this is it. So any question? So we thought you were teaching us a new method, ma. There's new method. Okay, so that's it. So that's it. So let me try to, okay. So is there any question? Any question? You can mute and talk. If there's any question, unmute and talk now. If there is no question, you shall know that you've learned this one today. Anything you are designing and it has a drop down, you will make it interactive. Is there any question?
Bro.
Yeah?
Okay, there's I was just that while you're clicking on the drop down button, the box itself was moving, as in the box itself. Let's say like it adjusts up. Is that the way it should be now?
Okay. Yes. So I think I would be able to set that. But there's another thing I want to actually set, which is I really don't like the fact that it doesn't have color. So let me even set this first to have the stroke to stroke to have color. Normally now this thing is supposed to cover all. Oh, so let me add stroke to this whole box. But my issue with it is, okay, so because I used individual boxes, so I can just decide to remove the field for this, remove the field for this, remove the field for this. So you know what, when doing your own make it, so let me add a field to this. It has started again. Okay, so this is it. I can just add a field to all of them. The field should be white. So when you are doing yours, just make it better. So we don't have time again for me to do all of that. But you can now see the process of doing a drop down and how to make it interactive. So is there any other question? I need to end class in 2 minutes. So for your tax, you would design your tax will be sent to you by tomorrow. Well, just know that in anything you're doing, if you have a drop down, you should add it. Also know that you need to prototype. And good news, I I woke up this morning and I saw that prototype is now free. So for those of you that want to learn it, it's now free. You can install it on your system and learn it. That will make your what's it called? Your prototyping sweeter and easier. For me, I really don't like using Figma to prototype. Reason why I think I prefer After Effects. to Figma or this. But this is also an opportunity for you to learn ProtoPie. If you follow them on YouTube, you can learn plenty things. You can learn plenty interactions from them. So you can start doing that self-learning on your own. Then if there's any question, you can throw the question together. So it will start on the 30th. So from on the 30th, you can download it, use it very well. So ProtoPie, sorry, is actually very sweet. There's a lot you can do with it. Like you can also do typing interaction. You see this thing here? Yes, free for life. Oh, free for life. Like that gave me joy this morning. So unlike just like Figma too, it's limited though. There's a number of projects you can create with it. I think 2 projects and the rest. Yeah, 2 projects more. It's still very good. So people like us in Nigeria, this is a live class. I would have told you what we'll do. I have like 5 Figma accounts. So it will not be bad to have 5 ProtoPie accounts. So all is just to boost your portfolio though. You use it to boost your portfolio. When they see that you can use ProtoPie. I not say anything. Timile, why are you laughing? I did not say anything. Don't make them come and arrest us. Okay, so is there another question? Any questions? Since there's no question, we are good for today. So thank you guys. Closing remark. Thank you guys for coming to today's class. You've learned variant, you've learned how to do drop down. So you don't have any excuse now to say your drop down is not working when you are prototyping. So for your tasks, if you have any drop down menu, you have to design an interaction for it. Well, when you see your task, you'll be very happy, Sha. You would ask questions, but it's all good. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.